Amy, back from my Soups On Fall and Winter Soup series that we've been doing this year. Kind of sad because this is my last soup of the season, but I guess that means spring is around the corner, which is also nice. Today we're going to do a soup that I like to make around this time of year because it has some brightness and some vegetables, and I feel like once you've hit February, you know, the holidays have passed and you're thinking, okay, I'm done now. Where's the spring? Where's the sunshine? And I feel like a bowl of this still gives you that winter warmth, but it gives you a little hope that spring is around the corner. It is a lemon chicken orzo soup. And like I said, it is studded with vegetables and lemon juice, some cream, lots of spinach, lots of chicken. Really a very, very nice recipe. Lots of nice fresh herbs. Well, dried herbs and some fresh herbs, but it's just kind of hope for spring in a bowl. This recipe calls for 2 ribs of celery diced, 2 carrots diced, 1 medium onion diced, 2 cups of spinach that I have here, an array of herbs and spices that we will talk about. Chicken, of course, three kind of large chicken breasts, cream, broth, and Parmesan cheese and lemon juice. So not too much, it comes together pretty quickly. What I'm going to do is bring you over to the stove and show you how we get our chicken going first. We're going to brown the chicken first in some olive oil and some lemon pepper seasoning. You know, you could do salt and pepper, but why not just add more lemon to this? So we're going to use lemon pepper on this. So let's go to the stove and we'll put that in, talk a little bit more about the recipe, and then we'll be back and forth from my counter to the stove until we get this bowled up. See you guys over at the stove. Okay guys, so we are over at the stove here. Got a large pot, ooh, it's hot, on about medium high heat. I've got these 3 chicken breasts that I was telling you about. They need to be seasoned with lemon pepper. I'm going to season them right in the pot, guys. I'm just going to lay them down in this oil. Oh yeah, certainly hot enough. Ooh, hear that? Lay these guys down. We want to brown these on both sides before we add them to our soup. They do not have to be cooked through because our soup is going to simmer. I don't know, guys, if you can see what's happening in here, but see, we just got our chicken here. You let these sit about 3 to 4 minutes each side. I'll flip them, I'll re-season them, then I'm going to pull them and let them rest for at least 10 minutes while we get the vegetable base of the soup going. You can shred this, you can cube it. I think I'm going to cube mine today because I like the idea with the little dices of vegetables that the cubes will kind of mimic that. And you'll have a similar texture throughout the soup. I think that makes for a nice bite. So we're going to do that. And while I let this chicken cook, I'm just going to go back over to my cutting block and I'm going to chop up my celery, onion, and carrot and get it ready for the next part of this dish. So hang in there. I'm going to add some more. Don't be afraid of this stuff, guys. Seasoned food is good food. Hang in there, we'll be back in a few minutes. See you soon. Okay guys, I'm back at the stove. Look at this beautiful browned chicken. These delicious little caramelized bits. That is not burned, that is flavor, and don't let anyone tell you any different. These guys are not cooked all the way through, but 3/4 through, I would say. We need to let them rest for a while. Too hot to chop up now, and besides that, all of those nice juices would flow out, and that is not what we want. So we're going to move on to our vegetable portion. we need to add 2 tablespoons of butter. I did turn the heat down a little bit on this. This is at more of a medium now. I wanted to get that nice brown on the chicken, but I don't necessarily want to cook my vegetables that aggressively. So we're down to about a medium. You put your 2 tablespoons of butter in here. And then we're going to add one of the most famous culinary inventions, the mirepoix, which is a fancy French word, guys, for celery, carrot, and onion. These are all cut up. Throw those in the bowl. Get every little last dice of everything. And at this point, we're looking to soften. We're not caramelizing. I don't want big loads of color on these. You know, I want to give them about 5 minutes just to kind of sweat in this butter, and their own waters are going to release, making the onion nice and sweet, making the vegetables kind of a crisp tender. You know, you don't want mushy vegetables. Nobody wants that in a soup or otherwise. But we do need to get some of this, you know, rawness off of here, of course. So we let these kind of sweat like they're in a steam room, like they're in a little sauna of deliciousness, of butter and deliciousness. This pan stays so hot. I want to show you what this looks like in here. See that? Nice buttery vegetables. And I know that I have not mentioned anything about orzo yet, and this dish is called lemon chicken orzo soup. So you might be thinking, is there a portion where you're going to do this pasta, Amy? Well, I have pre-cooked my orzo. This is a cup of dry orzo that I cooked. It calls for 3/4 cup. I just made a full cup because I thought, why not a little more pasta? I mean, people love that. The reason I'm not going to do this in with the vegetables and the stock and the chicken is because I don't want this pasta to get mushy, and it will. It is a very fine pasta, as you can see. You know, these look like grains of rice. It would be very easy to overcook this orzo in this soup, and you are just not going to have a nice outcome. So it's best to cook your pasta separately, and then when you're ready to bowl, you know, you lay down a little bed of orzo in your bowl, and then you're going to ladle your broth and vegetables and chicken on top. That'll make it delightful. And if you have leftovers, you know, just keep them separate and put them together when you want to make a bowl of soup. That's no big deal. That takes no time at all. So that's what we did there. That's gonna make it a lot better. Very delicious. So these have been going for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to add right now some garlic. This recipe calls for 4 cloves. You know me with my eyeballing and with my ready minced garlic. I saw someone on TV say, you measure garlic with your heart. And I like that because I like garlic. So I too am going to measure garlic with my heart. Put that, oh gosh, just immediately that smell is so wonderful. So we've got our vegetables in there, the garlic that we measured with our heart. I'm not going to add much salt into this, I don't think, until the very end, because, you know, we've got so many spices and herbs going on, and chicken broth, and Parmesan cheese, so I don't want things to get too crazy in here. You can always add salt. You can't take it back, even if you wish you could. So let's wait until the end to do a taste on that. Things are really softening up in here. And what I'm going to do now is add my spices so they can kind of
warm up and get fragrant and start to incorporate with our vegetables here. It's a teaspoon of each of all 5 of these. And like I said, you know what I do. Teaspoon of dill weed. Teaspoon of oregano. Teaspoon of dried parsley. I also measure parsley with my heart because I really love it. So you do you. That's what I do. Teaspoon of basil. Teaspoon of dry mustard. Now you might be thinking, mustard in soup, what is happening here? Dry mustard just has just a really nice punch, and you know, you don't taste mustard when you're putting in this dried mustard. It just gives you a little extra punch. There is dry mustard in so many things that you wouldn't even think about it. It's kind of wild, but it just gives you a nice little extra depth of flavor, a little punch of flavor. Fun fact, it's used in most macaroni and cheese recipes. I'm also going to do some black pepper at this point because I want that to kind of bloom and get fragrant as well. Black pepper is another that I measure with my heart because it's one of my favorites. So a lot of these things are, you know, it's a guide, but it's just to taste. I mean, it's what you want it to be, how you like things to taste. Well, this is looking really nice. You see that here? Things are softening in this butter. That's great. Oh, it's so fragrant too. This is going to be a good bowl of soup. And like I said over at the counter, you know, when you get to February, you start to, you know, the sunshiny days that come out, you appreciate them so much. You just want a little warmth, maybe a couple of sunny days. And I think this soup, you know, you're still cold, so it gives you that hearty soup in your belly feeling that you want. But with some of these, especially the dill and the lemon, you know, it starts to get you in the mood for some spring weather. It's a perfect February soup in my opinion. This looks great. This looks exactly how I want it to look at this point. What I'm going to do right now is add 6 cups of chicken stock to this, okay? I'm going to let this simmer, at least probably 20 minutes to make sure the vegetables are soft. So we're going to do that. While I'm letting this simmer, probably towards the end of that is where I am going to, oh, look at all that. You see all that juice coming out of that chicken? Yep. And when you cut up your chicken, oh my gosh, when you cut up that, don't worry guys, I'm just making this for me. When you cut up that chicken, don't waste a drop of that chicken liquid. It is liquid gold. Talk about building flavor. Okay, so I will cut up that chicken probably in about another, those are big chicken breasts. I might let them rest another 10 minutes. I'm going to add my broth in, cut up my chicken breast. I will meet you back here at the stove when we have gotten to that point, and then you will see how we finish this up. It is not difficult at all, guys. I mean, really, it'd be a good weeknight meal, nice Sunday afternoon, make a pot of this sort of thing. So, oh, it just smells delicious. All right, I will be back soon. Bye. Okay, everybody, I'm back. My soup has been simmering. I did cut up that chicken. I know I said I was going to dice it, but you know what? It told me it wanted to shred, so I allowed it. But the chicken has been cooked through. We simmered it with the vegetables and this broth. I've turned it down to low now because we're going to add our cream, and you don't want to pour cream into boiling liquid, because what will it do? Seize up, curdle, break the whole soup, and be just really terrible. So we're not going to do that. We are going to slowly add, very slowly add, about a half a cup. Stirring it in. You can see that color changing. I like cream. Don't judge me, guys. It's delicious. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful color there. So we've got our cream in. Look at how that's coming. And half a cup freshly grated Parmesan that we're going to incorporate. I will die on the hill of grating your own cheese and not buying pre-shredded cheeses, because pre-shredded cheeses are coated in yucky chemicals so the shreds don't stick together in the bags, and it doesn't allow it to melt as nice. It's just extra garbage in your system that you don't need. Takes no time to shred cheese, especially if you have a food processor. You know, buy your blocks, zip it through the food processor. It's so much nicer. And you will very much so notice the difference. Okay. Spinach. We're gonna add 2 cups of spinach. You know how spinach is. It cooks down into nothing, so we just want this to wilt into here. You put in, you know, I could put this whole bag in here, guys, and in 2 minutes it would look like I'd put in nothing. That's how, it's the conundrum of spinach. It's like if you're buying something for a spinach dip, or, you know, fresh spinach that you're going to make for something, buy a lot of it, because you will see quickly that it turns into like a tiny little handful once you have wilted it down. It just really shrinks up. Oh my gosh, you guys, this looks so nice. Let me grab my towels again so I can show you how pretty this is. Isn't that nice? I think that's very pretty. So we've got that. See how much this spinach is just wilted down. Okay, I'm gonna just grab a couple more things and I'll be right back. All right, so my spinach is wilted, and at this point you might be thinking, isn't this called lemon chicken orzo soup? Amy, I know I saw you put the lemon pepper on, but that cannot be all the lemon there is. Haha, there's not. You want 1 whole lemon, the juice of 1 whole lemon. Now make sure you do not have seeds, that you've already taken them out. Just squeeze that nice fresh lemon juice in there. Let's get that in. You know, if you do get a seed in, pull it out with your spoon. It's not the end of the world, but if you can avoid it, it's nicer. Okay. We stir that nice fresh lemon in there. Oh, this is so fragrant. This is so nice. And then to serve, I mean, this is ready. So I took a bowl, I put a little bit of that orzo that I pre-cooked down there. I can't find my spatula, guys, so I'm just gonna use this cup here. You know, put some of that chicken and broth in there. Get all that good stuff. You know, take your spoon and get that orzo incorporated. Look at that. Oh my. Oh. Well, I'm at a loss for words. Let me taste this. Oh, it's bright, it's herby. It's perfect. It's perfect. You know me, also, it wouldn't be a soup if I didn't recommend that you get a nice big crusty baguette, throw in the oven, toast off some pieces to dip all of that delicious broth. But honestly, you're just gonna be slurping this broth because that's how good it is. This is a perfect soup for punching a little brightness, you know, waiting for the sun to come out. And you know, the thing is, you know everything that is in this. It's so much nicer to make your own soups than to use canned. I mean, these are all fresh vegetables. You know, we've used a nice broth, our own cream, our own herbs. This is not like a fresh chicken. This is not like your shelf-stable yucky stuff that you get at the grocery. And you can freeze this. Even though there's cream in this, people think maybe you can't freeze soups that have cream. You can. You know, for up to 3 months, you could put cups of this into your freezer. Pull it out, you know, if you're want to pack a lunch for your job or, you know, wherever you're going, and you have a nice fresh soup that you've made yourself, that you don't have to worry, you know, how much. So I added no extra salt to this, I should add. There is no extra salt in this besides what came from the broth and the Parmesan cheese and the seasonings. It did not need an extra speck of salt. And you know, those canned soups, they're chock full of sodium and preservatives, so they can sit on the shelf for a long time. Don't do that. Just do something like this. Look how much you made here. And it, you know, in this day with grocery prices, it's probably more cost effective to make yourself a big honkin' pot of soup and, you know, feed that to your family and eat that over a couple of days. It's healthier, it's more delicious. I mean, this is a balanced meal. You've got carbohydrates from your orzo, you've got protein from your chicken, you have some dairy in there with your cream. If you can't have dairy, substitute a non-dairy milk or cream. You've got some cheese in here. You've got an array of different vegetables and herbs. It's everything you need in a meal, and it eats like a meal. It is really, really wonderful. Hope you guys try this, and thank you for a wonderful season of Soups On. I really enjoy being with you guys and showing you some of the things that I like to cook. If you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see, throw me a line, you know, let me know what you would like to see made next. But for now, this is what we're having. Bon appetit. Thank you very much, guys. See you later.